Good morning, everyone. It is 6:45. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. It is so dry in Calgary right now, and that can mean a lot of flaky, itchy skin, something that's even worse for children with the skin condition eczema. Pediatrician Dr. Sarah Hall is here now with what parents need to know to help their kids get some relief. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Why don't we start, first of all, with what exactly is eczema? How is it different than just that dry skin that we have?
So eczema can be, it's also called atopic dermatitis, and what it is it's a chronic and recurring inflammation of the skin barrier, basically. And the reason that we see so much of it in the winter here in Calgary is because the dryness ends up compromising our skin barrier.
Right, okay. And when you say barrier, what do you mean? We have to remember that our skin does act as a barrier, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the skin is basically a protection from the environmental everythings that come at us all day long. And with this dryness, it ends up breaking down. So what eczema looks like is these dry, really itchy patches everywhere. And it can start really early in childhood and go all through life. There's sort of like different patterns that are sort of specific to the age groups. Like infants can get it on their cheeks and kind of everywhere. Kids get it mostly in the little spot right before right in front of your elbows and behind your knees. And then adults and teens are more like hands and feet.
Right, right. Okay, so this is really problematic for these kids because it can even prevent them from sleeping and it can be really uncomfortable. So what do we do for these kids?
So the big treatment for this is basically hydration of that skin barrier and getting it to work functionally again.
Okay.
And the way that we do that is through moisturizing twice a day or more.
Or more,
Yeah. So you want to find a really good fragrance-free moisturizer. And I usually suggest anything that says, again, fragrance-free, cream on the bottle. So
as opposed to lotion?
As opposed to lotion.
Okay,
so if it says,
you're looking for the word cream. Okay.
Yeah, if it says 24-hour long-lasting lotion, that's mostly water and it evaporates away. You want a cream that's so thick that when you put it on your hands and you wash your hands, you can still feel it.
Oh, okay. So it is sort of replacing that barrier and helping it to work. Okay. Now, what about if you've already done that with the kids and it's just still not working, then what do you do?
Yeah, so that if there's a certain amount of inflammation, sometimes you can't get that under control with just some of these moisturizers. So what we do is we end up using mild anti-inflammatory. So these topical steroids, they can range in potency from something really mild like hydrocortisone that you can get over the counter to something stronger that your physician can prescribe. So we usually would suggest using them twice a day, but in a discrete time period, as opposed to just using them chronically.
Okay.
Steroid creams can have side effects.
They sure can, right?
So you want to just do them for a short period of time, as recommended by your doctor.
As recommended by your doctor. So the case being for a parent, so they've got a flare-up in their kids. So all of a sudden they've got some really bad, nasty patches. This is when you want to get that medicine cream, as we call it in our house. Lots of it on right away. Get it under control, and then you're going back to the moisturizer?
Yeah, so there's all sorts of debate about whether baths can help too. So a little soaker bath, something not too hot, not too cold, something that's where you're not soaking too long. You come out of the tub, pat your child dry, and get cream applied within 30 seconds of coming out of the tub.
Wow, that's fast.
So yeah, so if you happen to have some of that medicine cream, apply it first, and then stick on the gobs of moisturizing cream
Afterwards. Okay, lock it in. Wonderful. Now, what about triggers? So do you have to be aware of what's going to make this worse?
Yeah, so eczema does have triggers, specific triggers that can make it flare. So things like harsh soaps or harsh detergents. So use a mild fragrance-free soap. Fabric softeners notorious. Rough, non-breathable clothes can cause it too. And even stress is actually a trigger.
Okay, so lots of things to keep in mind, but fantastic information. Thanks so much again, Dr. Hall. Great tips for us.